Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a small town nestled at the confluence of the Ohio and Kanawha rivers, has known its share of history. Founded in 1774, it bore witness to the ebb and flow of frontier life, its fate intertwined with the expansion westward and the tumultuous years of the Civil War. Yet nothing could prepare its residents for the strange events that would forever alter its identity, etching its name into the annals of the unexplained. In the heart of the Cold War, with tensions running high and an undercurrent of unease settling across the nation, Point Pleasant found itself at the epicenter of a mystery that continues to baffle and intrigue to this day. It began, as many stories do, with whispers, with fleeting glimpses in the shadows, and with a growing sense that something was deeply, unsettlingly amiss. The year was 1966, and the stage was set for an encounter with the unknown, an encounter that would leave an indelible mark on Point Pleasant and ignite the imagination of the world. It was the year the Mothman arrived. The creature that would come to be known as the Mothman defied easy categorization. Witnesses struggled to articulate what they had seen, their words fumbling to capture the sheer strangeness of its appearance. Towering over 7 feet tall, it possessed an imposing stature that commanded attention and instilled fear. Its most striking feature, however, was its wings, massive and bat-like. They spanned an estimated 10 feet, dwarfing the creature's already considerable frame. They were not feathered like those of a bird, but smooth and leathery, suggesting something ancient and reptilian. And then there were the eyes. Glowing a menacing red, they seemed to pierce through the darkness, burning themselves into the minds of those unfortunate enough to meet their gaze. The eyes spoke of an intelligence, an awareness that sent chills down the spines of witnesses, leaving them shaken and deeply unsettled. This was no ordinary creature. This was something altogether different, something unknown and profoundly disturbing. The first documented encounter with the Mothman occurred on a chilly November evening in 1966. 5 men, Roger Scarberry and Steve Mallette among them, were preparing a grave in Clendenine, West Virginia, a small town just a stone's throw from Point Pleasant. As dusk settled over the cemetery, casting long shadows across the headstones, the men noticed something unusual. 2 red lights like glowing embers appeared in the nearby trees. Intrigued, and more than a little apprehensive, the gravediggers cautiously approached, their curiosity outweighing their fear. As they drew closer, the lights lifted from the ground, revealing the terrifying form of the creature. Panicked, the men scrambled back to their car, the creature's glowing eyes seemingly following their every move. They sped away, the creature in hot pursuit, its massive wings carrying it effortlessly alongside their vehicle. The chase continued at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour, the creature keeping pace with ease. The terrified men eventually managed to outmaneuver their pursuer, but the memory of that night, the sheer terror of the encounter, would remain forever etched in their minds. The gravedigger's story, though met with skepticism by some, spread like wildfire through the community. It wasn't long before others came forward, their own chilling tales adding fuel to the growing fire of fear and uncertainty. Newell Partridge, a resident of Salem, West Virginia, claimed that he saw strange patterns reflecting in his window one night, followed by a mysterious sound just outside of his home. Shining a flashlight toward the direction of the noise, Partridge supposedly witnessed 2 red eyes resembling bicycle reflectors looking back at him. This anecdote remains a popular one in the Mothman mythos, especially since it allegedly led to the disappearance of Partridge's dog. To this day, some still believe that the fearsome beast took his beloved pet. The Gettysburg Times reported 8 additional sightings in the short span of 3 days after the first claims. This included 2 volunteer firefighters who said they saw a very large bird with large red eyes. The creature, dubbed the Mothman by a local newspaper reporter, seemed to be particularly drawn to an abandoned World War II munitions dump known as the TNT area. This sprawling complex of bunkers and storage facilities, shrouded in an eerie silence and overgrown with vegetation, became a focal point for sightings. Couples parked on secluded lovers' lanes reported seeing the creature perched atop the bunkers, its glowing eyes burning through the darkness. On November 15, 1966, 2 young couples spotted an enormous bird-like figure in the abandoned TNT plant area outside of Point Pleasant. The creature chased their car at 95 miles per hour back into town, where the encounter was reported to the local sheriff's department. Others claimed to have seen it gliding silently through the trees, its massive wings making no sound, its presence heralded only by a growing sense of dread. As the sightings mounted, a palpable sense of fear settled over Point Pleasant. The creature, once a source of whispered rumors and late-night campfire stories, had become an undeniable reality, a terrifying presence that stalked the shadows and haunted the dreams of the town's residents. There are certainly plenty of people who think that this cryptid is a real, living, breathing creature. There are also some who believe that these witnesses may have encountered something strange. Many believe that it was likely a large bird, perhaps one that was not in its usual habitat. And of course, there are those who believe the legend is just that, purely a legend. Until we have absolute proof one way or the other, the Mothman will remain like Bigfoot, Nessie, and other monsters, elusive. This concludes today's episode of the Paranormal Report. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel. It is the continued support from viewers like you that make it possible for us to continue to create interesting and informative videos. The team here at the Paranormal Report really appreciates your support.